YouTube, how the heck you doing? This is Corey here with Watcher From. So I'm going to go ahead and make this video because we are going ahead and getting a brand new soul stone, which is going to be the unpolished soul stone, so you can only use it on non-legendary lords. So let's just go ahead and get into it. Let's not waste too much time and go through this. So the first unit that is absolutely essential is going to be A1 Diao-chan. The reason for that is because as it currently stands, A1 Diao-chan is probably the most meta relevant unit when it comes to buffing, and also whenever she gets that extended range, she becomes a really important piece for any arena team right now, even very necessary at this current point in time for Abyss 1. And she's just awesome, right? She has the ability to give you those constant inspiration buffs. She does give you damage reduction if you go ahead and have Lubu as well. So as it stands, A1 Diao-chan is a necessity if you do not have her. Honestly, if you don't have her, A1, it's not even a question. Just go ahead and use the soul stone on her. And then the next unit that is also up for decent consideration is going to be Anora. Anora's average. You're not really going to benefit too much from going ahead and awakening Anora, at least in this current moment, because Anora typically benefits only when you have Ymrit as well alongside her. So as it stands, Anora is going to be in the average tier. Ajax is also going to be in the average tier as of right now. Ajax is good, right? Especially whenever you're going ahead and getting him to A3. That's where you see a lot of the damage buffs because he gets that additional percentage on his chance to go ahead and do the lightning hit. But as it currently stands, he's also in the average tier. He is interesting though because he is a lord essentially, and he's able to go ahead and benefit from those soul stones. But there's a lot of other units right now that are just really good. Ymrit is going to be in the heavily considered tier, mainly, and I only say this because of Guild v Guild, right? If you go ahead and you're very much involved in Guild v Guild, getting an A3 Ymrit is very helpful just because of the amount of damage that he'll do, and then also the freezes that he inflicts. That's the good part. However, if you're thinking about a more general PvE, your gear raids, your gear dungeons, your arena, you're not really going to benefit too much from going ahead and dumping a soul stone into Ymrit. But if you're really focused on Guild v Guild, then yeah, definitely consider it. The next unit, let's see here. If I can go and find it, that'd be amazing. Because the next unit is going to be Kiri. Here he is. All right. Must Awaken. Now, as it stands, this is also technically in order. Let me swap these around a little bit. There we go. A1 Diao-chan is going to be more important. However, Kiri is also a very important piece as of right now, mainly because Kiri is arguably the best damage dealer in the game when it comes to Abyss 1, and also A5 Kiri is just absolutely lethal when it comes to Guild Boss 1 as well. So it's definitely worth considering as to whether, hey, do I want to go ahead and A1 my Diao-chan, or if you already have her A1, then you probably want to default to Kiri, because Kiri right now is probably the best unit. Once again, right? He's probably the best unit for Abyss 1 at this current moment. The next unit is going to be Wukong, if I can go ahead and find him. Here we go. Wukong is also in the Must Awaken tier. Now, the reason for that, and I'm probably going to cut it here, right? These are the three most valuable units in the game right now in terms of their awakenings. And fun fact, obviously they're all limited as of right now. Now, the reason why Wukong is also very sought after is because he's going to have really good use in Guild v Guild if you care about that. And then secondly, he's also going to be really good for Guild Boss 1, right? A lot of people use him with the Nightmare teams. Guild Boss 2, Semra, he's pretty much the king of it when it comes to just overall damage output. And then 3, Abyss 1, he's also just incredibly good. A little bit second to Kiri right now, but overall, A5 Wukong, A1 Wukong gives you the revive, A2 gives you a little bit of damage, A3 gives you some damage, A4 and A5, you know, it's just adding to the fact that he's already a really good unit. But as of right now, you're probably better off going ahead and getting Kiri to higher awakenings just for some raw damage output when it comes to Abyss 1. However, if you don't necessarily care about Abyss 1 and you're still trying to go ahead and push Semra, then you definitely want to go ahead and do Wukong, and go ahead and use your Soul Stone on him. You're not going wrong with either one of these two units. They're both just fantastic. A little bit for different reasons. If it were me personally, I would go with Kigiri just because pushing Abyss 1 is going to be very, very important moving forward down the line for the longevity of your account. And then, let's see. There's another limited in Dahlia. If I can go and find her. Here we go. Dahlia is bad. Honestly, there's no point in going ahead and using a Soul Stone on Dahlia, at least at this current moment. She doesn't really have the most damage. She doesn't really provide the most utility beyond her slows and things like this. So, as it currently stands, she's just going to be in the bad tier. It's just not anything bad against her. It's just she's being compared to units right now that are just absolute monsters when it comes to what they do in the game at this moment. In terms of Diao Chan giving basically a permanent inspiration, Kigiri basically one-shotting bosses for you, i.e. Semra, and then also Abyss 1, and then Wukong basically doing the same. Then Ajax, he's a really good damage dealer, provides magic, defense reduction. Honora's breaking down units, just going ahead and pumping out a ton of damage. Ymrit's similar, right? So just being compared to some really good units overall. The next on a set is going to be Eris. Eris is average. However, actually, no. We're going to have to be very honest. He has to be in the bad tier. Not because he's a bad unit whenever he's A1. It's just he's not going to go ahead and provide you too much damage overall. And too much utility overall when compared to these units like the Jiao Chans and then the Ajaxes, the Ymrits. He's okay, but he's not going to change your account drastically. And honestly speaking, as we kind of go through this list, every other unit for the most part, when it comes to being a legendary unit that is going to take up a soul stone, is just not worth it. The only one that might be for consideration is Lady Alexandria, but once again, if you're thinking about Lady Alexandria, you're mainly going to go ahead and use her for Arena and Gilby Guild. You're not going to really use her for pretty much anything else, at least as it currently stands. So truth be told, this is just the Trinity. Like these are just the best units that you're going to want to go ahead and consider. Obviously, you have units like, let's see here, Jira. And honestly, I might even just rename this. Let's make this Gilby Guild. There we go. Gilby Guild. Now, let's go ahead and move. There we go. So, Jira, mainly for BP. Because if you're going to go ahead and use Jira, you will never, honestly, you'll never place her. But it's mainly just because you want the higher BP. Beelzebub is also going to be for the higher BP. And then, let's see if there's anything else that I can think of. Where's Uridan? Because Uridan's also a prime culprit for BP boosting. There we go. And then Uridan, right? The reason for Uridan is mainly because he's probably the best BP unit in the game. Second to Yovar. Well, technically they're tied, but Yovar might actually take him now because of the exclusive artifact. But as it stands, if you're trying to go and push BP, it is worth a decent consideration if you care about Gilvio to go ahead and use a Soul Stone in Uridan particularly. So honestly, that's pretty much it. I don't want to go ahead and expand on this too much. Every other unit, for the most part, you can just assume is going to be not worth your time. So in just summary, A1 Diao-chan, A3, A5 Kigiri, A3, A5, A1 Wukong, A3 Ajax, A3 Ajax, A3 Ymrit, A5 Honora, even A3 is passable. Don't necessarily do. Go if you're trying to push BP, go if you're trying to push Gilby Guild in Arena, go if you're trying to push BP, and then go if you're trying to push BP. See ya.